Hello, my Adecco peeps, and how are you all? Welcome to my kitchen. This is Charmaine's kitchen out in Oakville, Ontario. I am here. I've been asked actually to do something for the Christmas holiday season for you guys. So I have decided to make a ginger loaf for you. It's a really easy recipe. It's a simple recipe, and believe you me, there's not much to it. No complications whatsoever. Okay, so on that note, let's get started. So in this bowl, I have 3 medium-sized bananas. There's 3 medium-sized bananas in there. Oh, and we're going to add a little bit of bananas in it to give it some, a little bit of a different flavor, as well as also to give it some body and whatnot. So I've got my bananas in here, which we're going to crush, and we're going to crush them until they are fine. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Crush the bananas. Like I said, this is really quick. It's really easy. No mathematics to it, nothing at all. This is all good, all crushed up. Okay, so we've got the bananas all crushed up here now. Now what we're going to do is to this, we're going to add all of the wet ingredients, or the so-called wet ingredients is what we're going to add to this. All right, so to these bananas, I'm going to add a 1/2 cup of melted butter or margarine. The choice is yours. So I'm going to add this in here. Right, I'm going to add 2 large eggs. I recommend that you break your eggs individually, because God forbid if you have one that's gone bad, you don't want to have to throw it out. Or we've got one egg. So we've got 2 eggs there. We're going to add to these eggs. We're going to kind of give them a little whip around. Make sure that there we go. So we whip that up. We're going to add a 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla essence. I've got my vanilla essence on here. We're going to add a 1/2 teaspoon of this. We're going to add a 1/2 cup of molasses to give it that nice brown color, and the molasses give it a nice to add to the flavor as well. So we're going to use a 1/2 cup of molasses. There we go. Okay, so we're going to pour that in. Okay, so we have that. And again, we're going to give it a little twirl. Okay, so we mix that up a little bit. So the recipe does call for buttermilk, but if you don't want to use buttermilk, or you don't have buttermilk, or if it is that you prefer using regular milk or even skim milk or anything like that, you are all free to do so. There's no really specification that you have to use buttermilk. So we're going to use, for the milk, we're going to use 1 cup of regular 2% milk. Okay, so we're going to do that now. Okay, so we're going to put a cup of regular milk in there. Okay, so that's our wet ingredient. Now we're going to focus on the dry ingredients. Okay, so we're going to stir that up, twirl that up. I'm going to set this aside and we're going to go and focus on the dry ingredients right now, okay? So we're done with the wet ingredients. Now we're going to focus on the dry ingredients. So the dry ingredients will be your flour, your baking powder, etc. So in this bowl, I've already measured out, there's 2 cups of all-purpose flour in here, and I've already measured it out. There's also a half a teaspoon of salt that's already in here, and I've also added the baking soda that's already in here. And the amount of baking soda that's in here is, I think it's between a half a teaspoon of the baking, 1.5 teaspoon of the baking soda that's already in here. So this is the dry ingredient, and we're going to add to this now. So in here, I am now going to add the spices. So cinnamon, nutmeg, allspice. So we're going to add all of these things in here, okay? So let's get busy. So I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of the ginger. Now you could use fresh ginger if you want, or just use powdered ginger. And I decided to use the powdered ginger because it's really good. It's really got a nice flavor to it, everything. Less mess. So let's go. So we're gonna add 2 tablespoons of the powdered ginger. And of course it's a ginger loaf, so you need ginger. So you're gonna add 1. And that should be about 2 tablespoons of ginger that's in there. Okay, so we've got the ginger. So what we want to do, we want to add, we've added the salt already. Let's do some nutmeg. So we want to add 3/4 teaspoon of nutmeg. So we've got 3/4 teaspoons of nutmeg. We're going to add 4. And this should be, this little bit extra should be about, just about that. We added 3/4 teaspoons of ginger. We want to add a half teaspoon of salt, which we've already added to the mixer in front of us. So we've added the ginger, we've added the nutmeg, we've added the salt, we've added what we want to add now. We've added the baking soda. We've done that. Let's put a little touch of cinnamon. So we're going to do a half a teaspoon again here, a little bit of cinnamon. All right, so we're going to do that here. Okay, there you go. Cinnamon. Okay, so we've added that. So we've added the majority of our dry ingredients, and we're going to mix this up. So I have one more dry ingredient that I need to add here, and I need to add the sugar. So I'm going to add now the sugar, and the amount of sugar is 3/4 cups of brown sugar. So this is 1/4. So we're going to add that in. I'm going to do another. That's 2/4, and one more. Make it 3/4 of brown sugar. And I'm also going to add a half a teaspoon of allspice. I'm just going to put a half a teaspoon of allspice. Right. And I think we are good with that. So again, I'm going to mix this up. Once this is all mixed up, then we're ready to add wet ingredients and dry ingredients together. Okay, this looks pretty good. All right, so I'm gonna make what bakers would normally say a well in the center of your dry ingredient, and we're gonna now pour the wet ingredients into there and mix it up, put it in the dish, and in the oven it goes. So here we go. So this is the wet ingredient that we did earlier on. We're gonna do this not all at once. We're gonna half it and we're gonna mix it in now. And you start from the inside out. Okay, we're gonna put the rest of this in here now. And again, I'm going from the inside out. You want to make sure and incorporate all of the flour mixture, because the last thing you want is when you're eating, you get a blob of flour. It's not good. Okay. And so now that all of our flour is all mixed into the mixture, we're going to pour this out. Now this is enough mixture in here to give us 2 loaves, 2 of these aluminum can loaves, and these you pick up at the dollar store. I think you get either 3 or 4 of them in a package, and they're really good for baking. You can wash them and reuse them again, or like I said, you could give them away as a gift when you're giving somebody a gift or something like that, and you just wrap it up and give it as a gift, or Christmas gifts and whatnot. They're really good, very economical for a buck. Hey, yeah. So we have enough mixture in here now that we are going to probably get we're going to definitely get 2 of these loaves. So now we're going to pour these out into the baking pans, and we're going to put this in the oven for about 45 to 50 minutes. We're going to leave it at a temperature of about 360 degrees, and it's going to, like I said, it's done. All we have to do now is just wait for it to bake. So we're going to pour these into the baking pans right now. I like to scrape and make sure that all is in the pan. What's the point of leaving a lot of stuff behind, right? Makes no sense. There you go. So there you go. So there, all done. We're going to put these now into the oven, and we're going to leave these in there for about 45 minutes. I'm going to get a tray. Actually, in here. Okay, so we're going to put this at 360. And I'm going to leave these for 45, 50 minutes. So welcome back. Of course, we had to wait for the bread to finish baking. So the bread is finished. Like I said, it took maybe about 45 to 50 minutes to finish. Make sure you stick it before you take it out of the oven and make sure that it's cooked. Whatever you're using to check for the readiness, that there's no mixture coming back out onto the stick or onto your knife or whatever it is that you're using to check for it. I normally would use a kebab stick. It's got the length, so all you do is you stick it in there and it comes out clean. You're good to go. You can take it out of the oven because you don't want to leave it in there for too long for it to dry out, get hard. So it's out of the oven now. It's cool for the most part, and you can serve this as is, or if you choose to, you can put a little bit of frosting on it, or again, you could just do a little bit of dust it with a little bit of icing sugar. Your choice, either one is fine. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to put a little bit of icing sugar on it, and serve that, not a lot, and serve it with just the icing sugar. And maybe you can have you can have it with some tea, some coffee, anything that you choose. Okay, so I've already got the icing sugar mix here. 1 part of water to, I would say, maybe about 3 parts of the icing sugar, because what you're looking for is you're looking for the consistency here. Okay, if you put too much water, then it becomes extremely runny. So you want it to be at a consistency where it is, once the cake is well cooled, it dries really nice. So we're going to try that. So I've got a Ziploc plastic bag here for the professional bakers. You can use a piping bag or a forcing bag or anything like that. But I'm going to go the easy way out, and I'm going to just use a plastic bag, snipping the end of the bag. So I'm going to snip 1 corner of the bag right here. Okay, once we've done that, turn it on the inside out. We're going to put the icing sugar in here. I'm going to pour this into the bag. Careful as you're pouring because it's runny, so you don't want this to run out. So you're going to hold it like this, pour this in. That should be enough. Okay, so now you're going to tilt this over. And there we go. And there you go. We can put a little bit over here. It's still a wee bit warm right now, but this will eventually harden. And there you go. Gingerbread. Banana gingerbread cake. Oh, we're going to give it a try. Let's see how this turned out. And there you go. We have a banana gingerbread loaf. So I'm gonna have my What do you think, Kim?
It's good.
Okay? All right. And there you have it, folks. Banana gingerbread loaf. Pretty simple, pretty quick. The longest thing I think to do here is putting it, just waiting for it to come out of the oven. Other than that, you can't ask for anything more. And there's nothing like ginger for Christmas. There's gingerbread, there's ginger cookies, ginger snap, gingerbread houses. Everything about ginger reminds us of Christmas. Okay, thank you. I hope you enjoy it. Please try it and let me know. Okay, take care. Bye.